Testing. Hello. Can anybody hear me? Hello, 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 hello. Oh, good morning, Charles. Right, so we'll just go to this part. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Radio Apocalypse, the morning coffee show. I hope you're well. I'm getting a bit of an echo here. I don't know if you guys are. Let me just check. Put that down. Is that better? Yes, that's better. No more echoey noises. That is great. Okay, let's have some morning coffee, shall we? Good morning to you all. Oh, is that one working? I'm supposed to be on this camera just now, but the mobile camera that I run around my house with, which is the one on the old selfie stick and my iPhone, is not wanting to play with the sound. Good morning, Charles Lloyd. Thank you for joining us today. It's absolutely amazing to see you here. This is just a little stream that I do in the morning. We have a look at all sorts of things like the papers, and I usually make porridge and stuff like that. And it's just good to see you here. I'm glad you like the titles. They're good fun. I like making things like that. That's good. Good morning, Roberto. Robert, Charles, Robert. Robert's watching on YouTube and Charles is watching on Facebook. And Barry's here as well. Good to see you guys. I'm going to do a quick sound check on this camera. Hold on a second. Let me put it across to this camera. I'm going to mute the one that was on before. And we're going to check to see if this one's working, guys. So give me a thumbs up if you can hear me now. Can you still hear me? I can't hear me at all. But if you guys can hear me, give me a thumbs up, please. I'll give you 10 seconds. Yes, good, great. That's fantastic. Right, nice one. That means I can walk around the house just now and do stuff like the weather and everything. First of all, we need to make coffee the Rab way. Charles, this little stream that I do in the morning is a lot less formal than the one that I do in the evening. The evening one has a nice back sort of drop and well lit, and I've actually washed my face by that time as well. And I usually sort of make coffee, make porridge, I go and have a look at the weather, then we'll have a look at the papers, and then we sort of like trawl through my phone for poems that I've written. And do a couple of poems that are going to go in my second book of poetry, which I'll do a shameless plug here that can be purchased on Amazon.com for it all. Right, hold on, I need to put the coffee in. Where's my coffee? There's my coffee. There's my coffee. And the thing is as well, I can't see your chat when I'm on the mobile walk-aroundy cam. So I keep on jumping back to the studio set piece, and we do that there, which is great. You know what? It's lovely to have you here, Charles. Charles and I go back to the days of Vine, everybody. We used to do some crazy stuff with a bunch of wonderful, eclectic people called Team Pangea. They were awesome. Incidentally, Charles, I'm trying to get the band back together in that sense, but maybe in a slightly different way. I've set up a Discord for artists and positive people that might need a bit of positivity in their life. You gamers, poets, writers, digital creators and stuff like that. So I'm looking to create a community as such. And there we go. Right, that's the porridge. I soaked, let's have a look at the porridge this morning, shall we? Let's look. I soaked the porridge overnight again, which is the best way to do it. There we go. And oh, where's Spoonie? There's Spoonie in the dishwasher. Can't have porridge that's not stirred with a wooden spoon. Right, stirring that. So yeah, what happens is, not done. Let's get that. That's great. So right, yes. Let's flip back. So what was I saying? I can't remember. Cannot remember. Let's check the chit chat. Cool. Right. Okay. So, while the porridge is cooking, let's say good morning to Roddick. Good morning, Roddick. Who's that? Say hello to the. Oh, thank you. You've got your Russian cartoons on. You're happy. Oh my goodness! Don't lean on me like that. Okay, and let us have a look out the window for the weather. Through the weather window in my street. Let's have a look at the sky. Patchy bits of blue. Overcast over there. Let's look at the bushes. Is it windy? It's not too windy. Is the tree over there blowing in the wind? No, it's not. No problem. Yes, it's a bit chilly, but that's actually warm for Scotland. Where are you, Roddick? You're right there. My little boy's standing underneath me. Okay, there we go. Right, and my beautiful lady wife is on the sofa, but she's not going to be on camera. Okay, not just now. Ah, yes. Any comments? Here we go. Queen addressing the nation. Hang on, here we go. You were saying band back together and informing your friend about Discord. Thank you, Barry. You can be my PA for keeping me right. And Roberto, Queen addressing nation tonight. A guy on the radio saying this virus is a 300-mile wide hurricane that has not hit the land yet. That's a great way to describe it, is it? Not going to lie, you're anxious, Robert. You can phone me afterwards and we can have a proper chat if you want, okay, about things like that. I think it's important that you have a lifeline, somebody that's that could keep it real and tell you, you know, a direction to go in or a way of thinking. It's all very important. Look at that. Porreggio. Okay, so Barry, my PA, was keeping me right there with what I was talking about. We were talking about a bit about the Discord, about getting the band back together. Back in the day, Charles, we did a lot of good on Vine with Team Pangea talking about, you know, good things, positive things, and a bunch of really cool people as well were involved with it. You know, by the time it finished, there was thousands, you know, in Vine that basically retouched and joined us as well. So I've got a little Discord. If you use the link tree, you can click onto the Discord and it takes you into the welcome area. Just sign up. It's like a forum, come communication tool, come sort of like website where you can drop in messages, do voice chat. You can even do video chat, one-to-one. It's just a massive positive communication tool. And Barry, my wonderful tech head, has set it up in such a way that we've got dedicated channels for dedicated subjects, and we have like communication sections. We've got like parts for Radio Apocalypse. We've got parts for Mojack's Happy's content, which is slightly different from Radio Apocalypse, and all sorts like that. We've got room for poets. We've got room for writers. We've got room for graphic designers, musicians, and I could go on. It's basically what I want. It's called the commune. Okay, it's called the commune, and it's supposed to be like a focal point for creative positive people. That's the way I'm going with it, which is wonderful. Right, let's get the old porridge bowl out and get some porridge on the go. Then we'll head back to the studio cam and have a look at the papers. And I've got a bit of positivity for the end of today's show as well, which is good. Spoony! Whoa. Listen, I'm a big girl when it comes to sweet things on my porridge, right? I do like some golden syrup. So mock me if you wish. I was going to do the salt and whiskey thing this morning, but let's go get that mixed in. Off with the cooker. Coffee's already in the studio. Let's pick up this thing and we shall head over. Porridge down. We will have Russian cartoons in the background today, but that's cool. That is cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. And we're these are not meant to go up your butt. Okay. Right. We are going to. You're having a wee look earlier. That's cool, man. I would like you to join that, Charles. I'd like everybody from the old Team Pangea to get involved if they wanted to. There's like with Team Pangea, it's kind of like a choice thing. Let's move across to this camera now. Brilliant. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take. We're going to have to. This is what I always get wrong. 1 second, and we will remove him from the stream. And we should still be able to hear me. Can you still hear me, gentlemen? Did I do that transition properly? Yeah, whiskey and salt is brilliant in the porridge. It's brilliant in the porridge. I have to say that I do like it, but I kind of keep the whiskey in the morning for special occasions or days off because I don't want to go into work smelling of alcohol. It doesn't work for me. It doesn't work at all. Incidentally, Charles, just so you know, I am on a... hi, Jason. How are you? I am on a 12-week self-isolation thing going on here. I'm not really allowed out of the house. I will go to the garden or to the back path to put stuff in the bins, but I am not going to... I can't venture into public areas, so I have to stay mostly indoors. Okay, so we have Charles Lloyd, Jason, Roberto and Barry all in the chat, and anybody watching this back later, as you do, welcome to Radio Apocalypse. We will go through the papers just now and have a wee look at them. It's all a variation of a theme today when I was looking earlier on with them. It's all to do with our Queen. Now, I'm not anti-royal. We talked about the Queen yesterday. I'm not going to go in and talking about the Queen just now. I'm not anti-royal. I'm pretty much pro. Let's do a gesture of a payment for it because the money that we pay for the royal household and the secondary and tertiary and whoa, that is my phone going just now. I will switch that off. So yeah, let's have a look at the papers anyway. Those who come after us say that the Britons of this generation were as strong as any. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean that we've always been strong? I think so. You know, I'm not going to mock the Queen today. I'm not going to do anything like that because the Queen is an important symbol of positivity in the nation. She's a focal point. And many people take comfort in our Queen, Her Royal Highness, saying words. And some people hang on their words and think, wow, let's just do that. Me, I know that our ladyship, our Royal Highness's poo smells as bad as mine. I'm a realistic person in that sense. It doesn't mean I don't disrespect her, okay? That's all that means there like that. So we will move on. It's pretty much all the same way all the way through this. Sunday Express, a generation that is strong as any. I prefer the other picture of her. Look at her. She's smiling there. See, that's more positive. That's such a nice face. You know, this one here is like, oh God, Charles is up in Balmoral with the COVID-19 virus and has infected a village. When will my boys ever learn? No, but that face is like, hey guys, we're going to make it. We're going to get through this. And that one is in the Telegraph as well, which usually sort of like is quite monochrome in colour. Sunday Express, expected more from you guys. That's a stock photo of the Queen. Doesn't look great.
Okay, Queen's rousing message. Oh, look, there she is there in her royal blues. I hope in the years to come, everyone will be able to take pride in how they respond. And those who come after us will say that Britons of this generation were as strong as any, that the attributes of self discipline, quite good humoured resolve, and of fellow feeling still categorise this country. What do you think of that? The Cheshire Cat of Buckingham Palace. Yep, the Queen's a lovable person, Charles. I'm not, like I say, I'm not anti-royal, but I'm certainly not. Oh, baby boy, I'm not. What's the word I'm looking for? I think that they create enough wealth for themselves without the nation providing for parts of them. I think that if we're going to look after their properties, maybe it would be a good thing if she handed the properties over to the nation and kept some for herself, you know. So she's it's not a negative thing, it's like a modern way of looking at it, in my opinion. I've had time to reflect greatly over the years about the Queen and the oaths as a soldier that I've taken to her as well. And I'm very, very, very sort of what's the word I'm looking for? I'm serious about my oaths. Yeah, very serious about them. Okay, let's go back to the papers just now. Okay, right. So, Sunday Times, Queen calls on nation to be strong as virus strikes medics. Yes, we've had too many deaths in the NHS of our frontline warriors in this. They don't have the correct PPE. We don't have the correct sort of protocols to protect them as such. Survey finds 14% of doctors off work because of COVID-19. Why are we not testing them? The government says they're going to test them. They said two and a half weeks ago, we will test. They didn't. They said a week ago, we will test. And they didn't. And they said, like 2 days ago, we're going to do 100,000 tests. How many have they done? Get the frontline workers tested. Get those that are off back in. Get them the PPE, the personal protective equipment. Let's get them the kit that they need, please. It's so, so important. Right, let's have a quick look at the comments just now, then we'll go back to the papers. Charles is saying, fight for Queen and country, a major oath. Yes, it was. It was, I've said the oath twice, once in the Royal Marines and also in the Territorial Army. And I take my oaths very seriously. I would fight for basically for anybody in this country if we were invaded or if it was a just war. A political war? No. A war of economics? No. Okay, but if we were threatened, I would still stand up and fight, without a doubt. Anybody else that is in Facebook land or YouTube land, just drop a wee message, say hello. I love to engage with you guys in the public. And also, please do me a favor. Even if you're watching in Facebook land, go across to YouTube land, give a wee click on the old subscribe button and the bell so you know when I come on. It'll send you a wee notification saying, hey, look, Mojack's Happy is on. You know, it's great. Okay, so back to the papers, which there's not many papers on the Sunday part today. 5-year-old is youngest victim as toll rises to 4,313. I just want to say something. I want to look at the camera when I say this. A 5-year-old's died of this. Do you think that's got anything to do with people not taking it seriously? Or do you think he maybe had it before? Do you think it could have been preventable if people turned round and actually did what they were asked? I don't know. It's a flippin' tragedy. It's a tragedy that this has happened. A 5-year-old, he's not even had an opportunity to get through primary one yet, probably. Maybe he's just finished it. But wow. Wow. Those poor parents of that wee boy. That's heartbreaking. Truly heartbreaking. I'm a dad of 4. I've got a little 2-year-old sitting on the sofa. He's been brought up bilingual, both Russian and English, and he's just adorable. If anything happened to him, I'd be devastated. My other 3 are isolated up at their mum's just now. My second youngest, Ruin, he's had a fever for 3 weeks, and the doctor says he thinks he's had it, and this is just his body recovering. Because he also had tonsillitis as well, so he was kind of thrown a bit. So yeah, it's being a parent is a tough thing in this particular world right now. It's just horrible, just horrible. Let's go back to the papers. Okay, so we were looking at the 5-year-old part. Abu Dhabi charges NHS millions in rent for super hospital. Thanks, Abu Dhabi. That's good of you. Wow. The People, the Sunday People. Does anybody read the Sunday People? Care home time bomb. MP furious. 13 die in week at one centre. That is awful. Lack of kit and testing and staff put OAPs at risk. Indeed, my mum is in her 70s. She is taking it seriously. She's staying at home, but she's also a carer for a 90-year-old woman. So she has to go up every other day. And she used to get the bus up, and I says, no, you will take my car. You will take my car, mama, and you will make sure that you take absolute precautions. You know, it's you just have to. It's so important. Wow. Your sister had it. She's still in recovery, Charles. I am so sorry to hear that. I truly am. I would hate to see anybody at all, getting that done. And Jason, it's not just the Arabs. You'll probably find it's a bigger company that owns that hospital. You know. Good crossword in the People, right? Okay, amazing. I've never done a crossword in the People. I did the Times crossword once. It was a way back in 1997 that I did it, and it was great because I just finished it last week. It's amazing. Right. So yeah, we've got this care home time bomb. You know, this is just a cesspit of viruses at the best of times. It's like boarding schools, prisons, hotels as well, cruise ships. They're all like their own enclosed ecosystems. So a virus can just jump for it's a hotel, it's a holiday for a virus in these close proximity sort of zones. It's crazy. Sunday Mirror. Oh, my third least favorite politician. Hang on. Rees-Mogg. Oh my God. All right. That man, I'd like to say, is a legend, but he's not. He is, honest to God, that pictures of him being lazy in the principal debating chamber of our parliament, showing no respect to anything or anyone. All right. That drives me bananas. Okay, at the best of times. I'll show you the papers here. This is whether this is true or not, I don't know. All right, but corona crisis vultures. Great headline from the Mirror. Rees-Mogg's firm, our chance to make money. Why? I know we live in a capitalist world, but that man right there, okay, is the epitome of absolute extreme selfishness. Okay, he truly is. Okay, he's one of the prime candidates for pushing for Brexit in the first place because he has so many investments that would be sort of engulfed within the new legislation from the EU regarding offshore banking. Okay, so Rees-Mogg, don't like him. He's up there with Dominic Cummings, who's not even a politician. I'd like to call him a humanized Voldemort. And of course, Boris Johnson, I have no time for at all because he is just a pantomime character. And I'm surprised that he's actually there. Oh, look at that. Make your own mask. Daily Star. What's that? Get a copy of the Daily Mail and use it to make a mask. Oh, that's very good. Okay, so you rat, Kyle. England footy ace says help others in virus crisis, but shuns his love child. Wow, you selfish rat. You ratty rat side. Wow. Oh my God, look at that. No Sid at Eddie's funeral. I wish we could turn the pages. I'd like to read that. Why would Sid not go to Eddie's funeral? Did they have a falling out? Oh, what a shame. Right, that's the papers done there. That's crazy talk. Crazy paper time. Right, yes. Greed is the lowest of the low. And Charles Lloyd, yes. Total, yes. Completely. Absolutely. It's, he's some boy. Is our Rees-Mogg. I wish to say that I had time for the man. I would sit down and have a coffee with him. I'd like to experience his his selfish sort of extreme, his way of dealing with the world as a whole, and understand his persona. Whether I think that he lives in a bubble, I really do. I think he lives in a bubble where it's all about him, his friends making money. Okay, and he has no concept of what's outside that bubble. And I think there'd be a great reality television show where basically roles are reversed, where you've got maybe members of the privileged society living for 6 months on what and in the same conditions as what some people live off in our country, which is crazy. What do I think of the new leader of the Labour Party? I tend to steer clear of most Westminster politics just now, Charles, because I get triggered. I really, really get triggered because of the way that they treat the Scottish politicians, the way that they treat each other. I think that the whole public face of it all is seriously lacking in respect. And whereas the Scottish Parliament has maybe 5% of that panto feeling going on, that performance stuff, it's at least they answer the questions. At least they go in a more positive direction. I'm still very much for independence, but I'm not against the UK. I'm not anti-English. I'm anti-Westminster. I think that they've given Scotland a raw deal. My dad is a Londoner. He was born in London, so I'm mostly English. So at the end of the day, okay, I have no problems with the English nation. I just have a big problem with the way that Scotland is governed by Westminster. I think that it's wrong, but we can talk about politics another time. The day is not the day for politics. Yes, during this dark time, MP should not get paid. I don't know whether I agree with that. I think that they shouldn't be allowed to vote their own pay increases. That's a definite thing, without a doubt. And I think that everybody should get paid. I think maybe their expenses, because they're working from home, it'll be interesting to see what sort of expense claims come back after this. It would be interesting. Yes, they do give the English a raw deal too. I completely agree with that, Charles. It's like London is a city state unto itself, and it's wrong. It's wrong. The politics. We're entering a paradigm just now where we've discovered the best and the worst of human nature. Okay, across the whole of the country, we've seen kindness and we've seen selfishness. We've seen frightening horror stories and incredible stories of overcoming adversity all during this crisis. And I'll be honest with you, okay, we need more of the positive stuff. We need to move and shift into a paradigm where things change to look after the many. Okay, I'm not against capitalism. I'm not purely for socialism, but I feel that a government should operate civilization, should manage civilization with minimal interference to the private citizen, but with mostly socialist values, but based on an economy of capitalist values where there is no exploitation going on. You can still make profit, but people have to be looked after. One person's soul is far more important than a mighty conglomerate that makes fictitious money. That is how I feel about it. If we can base an economy on that particular concept, it doesn't mean that soul has to earn millions of pounds. It just means that they don't have to be taken advantage of, that everybody has an opportunity to progress, that everybody has a chance, if they're off sick, that they're paid for, they get good holidays, good conditions, stuff like that. That's what I'm looking for, okay, at the end of the day. And I'm glad that you agree as well. London Westminster is a circus of animals. Yes, filled with clowns. That's what I say. Right, so if you are watching on the old Facebook, I hope that you have clicked the subscribe part, because if you've not, go and do it now, because all that does is it turns Facebook's head towards me a little bit more, and it makes them more serious about me being serious as a broadcaster. And I know that you lovely people on YouTube will have done it already as well, because I know who's there, which is great. Okay, I am going to play you a video now, if I can get it to work. That's great, that's all queued up. This is just, it's only like 1 minute and 10 seconds long. It is all about positive affirmations during the day and at night time. You may think that it may sound a little bit twee, but I think that in the world that we're currently living in, I think that it's very important that we take the time. I've gone. Here we go. I pushed the wrong button there. Can you believe that? Not like me to make a technical mistake on the old lapis topus. Yeah, I think it's important that we realize that it's not all doom and gloom, and we are in the we can take control of the way that we think about things. It's all about choice. It's about choosing to do the right thing, to take steps forward positively. It's difficult when the world around us is, falling to pieces, basically. But anyway, I tell you what, let's just watch the video, shall we? Because you'll see what I mean.
I focus on breathing and grounding myself. I engage in work that impacts the world in a positive way. I choose to release all fear from my life. I am focused on my goals. I wake up feeling fantastic. I feel good, and good is attracted to me.
Yeah. You know what? The world is a crazy place, and you need to sort of start thinking that you are good, that you can do the right thing, that you can be. It's the change of the world starts with everybody that's in this little stream just now and who's watching it back later. It starts with your neighbors, it starts with your friends, it starts with your families, and it becomes a snowball, a tsunami of good in the world. And we need to take this chance while the world is in a dark place encompassed by this virus. We need to take this chance, this opportunity to change it for the better. We need to go forward. We don't need to, as soon as we're allowed out our houses, to be looking up at the sky going, wow, it's great to be out again, and then shift right back to that negative paradigm where things are not great. Because the thing is, we've got all this magic money tree that the Tories have found. We're going to end up paying for that through our taxes, some way or another, for generations. Okay, and that's not great. Okay, that is not what we want. We want to say, look, this money is fictitious. The only people that profit for that is the people at the top of the pyramid that operate all the big conglomerate World Bank type things going on. Okay, this fiat money that is created, money from nothing is created. If we just choose to say, hey, listen, go and stop. Like, why do we have debt? To boost the economy, why don't they just zero all debt and give everybody their properties? The banks would go, oh my God, that would be us bankrupt, but they would still be operational. People would still take loans. People would still want to buy more property. It could start back at zero again. And people would have the spending power to go and do stuff. Zero the debt, give everybody a chance from the beginning. That's what I say. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Yes, we need to change Westminster. The fights between the rich and the poor should now be a joint walk into the future. I agree with you. The people that are rich are living in four walls as well. They still have a car with four tires, and they still have food in their cupboard, the same as everybody else, but it's bigger and better than ours, allegedly. But it means nothing now. The people that matter are the doctors, the nurses, the rubbish men, the workers in shops, the carers, the people that are looking after the electrical network, the infrastructure of civilization. Those engineers are the ones that matter now, not the bankers, not the big businessmen that operate massive companies, unless you're involved in the supply chain and food management sector. That's it. It's crazy. It's crazy. Give us a clean slate to rebuild. I agree completely, Jason. I think it's a very important thing. Right. We are going to finish with one poem today. Now, I think some of you may have heard this poem before. This one is not going in the book, but because we were talking about whiskey earlier on, and I have the Charles Lloyd, who is a fan of whiskey like myself on this, this one is my version. There's Robert Burns wrote a brilliant poem about the haggis, and every Burns supper I've ever been to, you have to address the haggis. You have to toast the haggis, and the haggis gets talked about, and the haggis gets eaten. And if you don't like haggis, what's wrong with you? Why do you not like haggis? You've got to love haggis. So I wrote a poem because there was nothing about whiskey. You know, we love our haggis, okay, in ways that you know, God, it's almost borderline obsession for me. I love haggis. Haggis is the thing. And wow. So I wrote a poem about whiskey. It's called Toast the Dram. And it has to be said in a Scottish accent. And I'm sorry if you hear Russian cartoons in the background. The stream is very informal in the mornings because it's family time as well. This is sat at my dinner table, which is good. I can't wait. Right, okay, I'll get on with it. Here we go. Toast the Dram. The day's been long, without end it seems. At the end of the tunnel, a golden light it gleams. It's your reward for being good. To deny your craving would just be rude. So pour it long and sniff it twice. Neat as it comes, nae water or ice. Look at its legs as it runs down the glass, as bonny as some on any fine lass. And finally, at last, it touches your lips. Its crystal clear taste grabs your tongue and grips, rolls down your throat and into your belly, and out to your knees, turning them into jelly. Then it's the fumes as they rise back up, warming your lungs, dain your head amuck. It's the soul of the spirit, it lifts ye high. Such liquid perfection could make ye cry. One's never enough, or so it seems. The glass fills once more with golden dreams, repeating the process over again, enjoying the dram. You just don't abstain. So raise your glass to our land's native drink, stick your nose in it and sniff up its stink. Honour its warmth and as it sets you free, and drink another to toast the whiskey. There you go. There you go. Yes, we like whiskey. We like poetry and whiskey. And that one is going to do the rounds at the lodges, I think. All my brothers in the Funny Handshake Club, I'm going to make sure they're saying that one as well. Razor, Glenfiddich. I'm going to get my special bottle of Glenfiddich and show you all just now. Hold on a second. Hello, Roddy. Right. Okay. This is a super special bottle of Glenfiddich, right? This is given to special people. You will see why in a second. This is very rarely for sale, and you would maybe only find it in auctions, or you would find it maybe in a raffle if you were part of a raffle thing, okay? But this bottle was given to me by my best man. I love you, Steve, if you're watching this at some point. Okay, and it is, it's never going to be opened. Not unless we truly have the necessary parts to do it. But check out the special reserve of that. Look at that. Yeah, you don't get those very often. And that's something, that's a bottle of legacy there. That is a bottle that I said to a friend of mine, he says, that bottle's not going to get open until Scotland gets its independence. And he looked at me and says, Murray, I'm all for Scottish independence too, but see, if you open that, you're a maniac. Just keep it and give it to your kids. It'll be worth about 30, 40 grand by the time you pushing up the daisies. And I was like, really? So I looked it up, and true enough, it's a special bottle. That's a put down and pass on to your kids type of bottle, you know. Right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me today. It's always a pleasure to speak to you. Let me tell you what's happening over the next week. Tuesday, I start an experiment for a month. I will be locked in my house anyway for the next 10 weeks. I'm only at the end of week 2 of 12 of shielding. So I am going to try an experiment in diet, would you believe, with the help of Leo from his Leo Fits Instagram. He's a friend of mine and my brother's. He does lots of good things. He is a very fit gentleman, has a body like a Spartan warrior, and is a vegan consultancy type person. So I've always wanted to try a vegan diet. I don't have vegan mentality. I'll still wear leather shoes. I'll still, animal products in the house and stuff. That's cool. But from an eating and a diet point of view, I'm going to try being a vegan, see what it's like. Because when I think about it, okay, about 60 to 70% of my diet's already just vegetables or non-animal products. I have porridge in the morning, vegetable soup and bread for lunch, and usually the meat's in the evening. So I think to myself, well, let's just cut out the evening meat and add different proteins and see where it takes me. He's also going to do an exercise program for me, and I'm going to be vlogging about that. Once a few days into it, we'll get started. I'll make a wee videos every day and maybe post them like 2-3 times a week, see what happens with it. The other thing is tonight, Radio Apocalypse might be a bit late on for the late show because we have on my brother's stream tonight, we have Serial Killer Sunday. Now, Serial Killer Sunday is a show that my brother and I do together. It's on his channel, and we'll be doing it on Mixer. Once I've got the exact time, I will put adverts on Facebook, Instagram, and Byte, right the way through everything. So if anybody wants to come and join us to watch that tonight, it's be me and my brother talking about serial killers. We're going to potentially do the Long Island killers, and my brother's the way to look up the top 3 South American serial killers you've never heard of before. So we're going to do that. The cheese. Yeah, cheese. I'm all for cheese. I know it's got animal fats in it, but I want cheese. It's the one, something, cheese and bacon are the 2 things I'd miss as a vegan. But it's an experiment, okay? It's an experiment. But I think what I'll do, because I'm a bit of a cheese addict, I think I'll wean myself slowly off the cheese and stick with the vegetables. Okay, and see maybe Leo will just slap me about it, but and say, no, you have to go the full hog. I've got to do what the boss says. Leo's the boss of my diet for the next month, and I'm going to get him. I'm going to do an interview with him, pre-record it, and we'll stick it on an evening show when we do a vegan special. A vegan special, deep fried beans, crazy. Right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure having you again here today. Please tell your friends. Please share this stream on your Facebook. Please share this stream from your YouTube onto your social media. I am just a tiny little stream that's looking over the next 10 weeks to expand into a less tiny stream. And I will see you all in social media land, and I will look forward to speaking to you all again. Take care, and watch out for the adverts for the Serial Sundays. Okay, take care.